Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for making us a part of your Friday. Ben, I didn't, we were talking about this off the air. I had no idea people took spring break so seriously around here.
Yeah?
It's like the whole city moved.
It's been vacated.
Really? We were talking about how traffic has been nothing all week long. My Sadie had soccer practice on Tuesday. I think there were like 3 kids there.
It's a 3-on-3 game.
Her coach shortened it by half an hour because the kids were so gassed because they didn't have time to wait in line. You know, usually you're waiting for your turn or whatever. You have a chance to get a break. Kids were all dead like half hour before practice ended.
Does everyone go to Southern Utah? Disney? What are we doing?
I would imagine all over, but Southern Utah used to be
I know it's where all the Jeep people go with during. They go to Moab during spring
Jeep
break.
Safari. Is that still a thing?
Probably.
I know. Kids used to go to St. George when I was young. Mm-hmm. That always seemed weird to me because what is there to do in St. George especially then, for like a 16-year-old?
Hotel pool. Yeah.
Go to the Denny's? I mean, that never made sense. Made sense to me. I imagine a lot of people go to Vegas and Mesquite.
Sure.
Well, you don't know.
Take the kids to Wendover?
You don't go to Vegas.
Yeah, it's true.
But
also, spring break only applies to people who have kids. We don't get spring break at work.
Right. No, that's what my question to you off the air was.
I'm totally with you.
People, I guess, save their vacation to take it around spring break.
Yes.
But Vegas is a great place to take your kids. Endless amount to do in Vegas for children.
Go to the hotel, lay in bed. Dad's gonna be back in 12 hours. I hope we still have a
No.
house.
No.
Like, I've never done Vegas right, I guess.
Go see the Blue Man Group. Go hit the roller coaster at New York. The endless amounts of arcades that are there, Ben. There's plenty to do.
Ride the train.
Which one?
There's like kind of the sky subway thing not subway. But
what do they call it?
The
monorail.
Train, the monorail that goes hotel to hotel.
Yeah, plenty of stuff to do.
Sure.
People probably fled to Bear Lake, although it's quite chilly up there still, I'm sure.
About 10 degrees less than we have here.
And
but
the
water's got to be
unswimmable.
Ice. Yeah.
But yeah, see, it feels like the whole town is out of town.
Everyone's left.
Everybody's gone.
Except us. Even Esparza took the week off.
Yeah, what's up with that? Spring
Had
break.
a baby and immediately took time off.
Christian is the type of dude who's going to be taking spring break even when his kid's like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, spring break.
Out of town.
What do you want? Spring break, man. Do you think people that live in spring break destinations hate spring break?
Yes.
Like with a passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you live on what do they call that? The Redneck Riviera? What is that in Florida? You know what I'm talking about? Like Jackson City?
Sure. I believe that.
Anyway, those folks in those small like beach towns that just get invaded by idiots.
Yep.
Like, imagine if 100,000 idiots just flooded your town for a whole week.
I feel bad for the Bear Lake people. We come up starting Memorial Day and don't leave until Labor Day.
Yeah, but Bear Lake, you're attracting a different type of. Come on, comparing.
Sure, yes, it's not people on spring break going to cause trouble, but I will tell you, it's a rowdier crowd than it used to be.
Oh, I believe that.
And the lines are insane, and all of a sudden the grocery store's packed.
But it's still the type of people that have no problem eating a raspberry milkshake.
Sure, yes. Correct. There is not, you're not seeing a lot of people stumble down Main Street.
No. You're not seeing a 21-year-old.
I still don't think there's a bar in Bear Lake, which seems like a ripe business opportunity.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Right across the border, I know exactly.
Yeah,
where it's
right.
at.
Yeah, there is.
Did you ever take one of those spring break-like trips when you were old enough to enjoy such a thing?
My senior year, we went to Fort Lauderdale. Now, I wasn't a drinker or anything, so I didn't quote them. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed that we walked around as 18-year-olds, not because I was partying.
I went to Cancun when I was in college. MTV was there.
Oh.
Listen. Oh, well, yeah. I saw Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
On the beach in Cancun. It was cool. But let me tell you, I went to Cancun last year for my wife's 40th birthday. That experience and my experience as a teenager, completely different.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
those poor people that have to put up with the idiot teenagers, I do feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad for the entire Cancun community.
For sure.
And by the way, as a proud American, not our best foot forward to a foreign country. You know what I mean?
Probably fair.
Not putting out a great message.
Not the best representation of who we actually are.
To our neighbors to the south. So anyway, happy spring break to all those folks out there who observe.
Yep.
Man, Ben, you want to go an overall NBA segment? I mean, tonight's game with the Jazz in Memphis is going to be ugly.
It is crazy that this is the end of this run. It is crazy that this is the last home game for the Jazz of this
era.
Whole thing. It's almost hard to kind of, in a sense, I think people have already accepted it because Jaren Jackson Jr. is here, and when that trade was made, it felt like, okay, the clock is just ticking, and the Jazz have achieved their goal, and they're going to hold on to their pick, et cetera, et cetera. It is bizarre that this is finally over, and this is probably going to be the last super goofy game we see until the Jazz are resting players, until, if they've qualified for the playoffs and are just trying to be healthy. But, yeah, I guess that is strange. But what is amazing is how few spots in the NBA have been decided. Like, you go tonight, there's still a lot of matchups that we don't know what the playoffs are going to look like quite yet. In fact, this just got released an hour ago. In the West, the Thunder have locked up the 1 seed. The Spurs have locked up the 2 seed. 3, 4, 5 could still be any one of Denver, the Lakers, or the Rockets, which is really funny because 2 of those teams absolutely stink. And the other one's the Denver Nuggets. Timberwolves are sitting at 6. I would rather play either the Lakers or the Rockets, or then I would Minnesota. So someone's going to try and position themselves. It would be really funny if we end up with the Lakers-Rockets first-round series, which is 2 teams that one of those has to advance, and neither of them is particularly good. Phoenix is locked into the play-in. Golden State's locked into the play-in at 10, and then there's a big game tonight between the Clippers and the Trailblazers. They go head-to-head. Whoever wins that game is going to be most likely the 8th seed, and the other team's going to fall to 9, which gives you a difference of how many play-in tournament games you have to win to make the playoffs. And they're both just fodder for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round.
If I were the 7th or the 8th seed, I'd be so annoyed. You're like, we should be playing a playoff series.
Yeah, this should just be done. Should be wrapped.
Dinking around with these teams that don't belong. I mean, not that the 7 or 8 seed is that great, but all of a sudden you have a chance to lose out. That stinks.
I want to
for some worthless games to solve a problem that it did not solve.
At all.
At all.
Yeah.
And doesn't even provide all that interesting of television. I mean, are you going to be all that locked into playing games? I mean, but I mean the
fans,
overall fan. Do
you want to watch the 18th and 19th best teams in the NBA play head to head? And some of them, I honestly suspect, may not have that much interest in making the playoffs.
You mean all of them?
Some probably, like Charlotte wants to make it. Charlotte is in the play-in and is like, this is a really good opportunity for us. But, okay, so here's an interesting one. Portland, their first-round draft pick this year is protected 1 through 14. So if it falls from 15 to 30, it goes to the Chicago Bulls. This is a good draft. Next year is a bad draft. You may just want to hold on to it this year. So they may want to lose in the play-in tournament to hold on to their pick.
Well, I don't think the play-in affects the pick, does it?
If you make the playoffs, you don't get a lottery pick.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
So you can
have a better record and miss the playoffs and hold on to your lottery pick.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So they would still – the lottery pick does go to teams who miss the playoffs.
So Portland's going to boot
Portland could
play-in.
They could if they felt like getting this year's 14th pick is more valuable.
I'd be excited to hear the NBA investigation into that one.
Well, the NBA just got finished investigating.
You jumped on my transition there, Ben. Did you? NBA statement from yesterday about investigating the Sacramento Kings for, and I find everything about this story hilarious. Let me just preface that. So they investigated Sacramento for the intentional foul where they fouled Seth Curry to send him to the line in a game that they were leading at the time. But
they were up 100 to 101.
But did not behoove them to win.
Correct.
The NBA said, quote, "The NBA has completed an investigation of the Sacramento Kings and head coach Doug Christie's decision to foul intentionally late in the team's game against Golden State Warriors on April 7th. The league's investigation determined that Christie mistakenly believed that the Warriors were not in the penalty and therefore instructed his team to foul in an attempt to stop the clock and utilize one of the team's remaining timeouts. The investigation found that Christie made no intentional effort to give the Warriors a shooting foul or to cause the Kings to lose the game, unquote. So the league said, we're not going to fine Sacramento.
We'll take your word for it.
And the reason we're not going to fine Sacramento is because that guy's a moron. And we'd believe that. I love how much Doug Christie gets thrown under the bus in this.
Just gets absolutely steamrolled.
It makes me laugh. I mean, feel bad for him, but makes me laugh like, hey, do we find this team or just call their coach an idiot? Let's just call their coach an idiot. That's the easiest thing to do.
We're not
right?
going to call into question the integrity of the game because the Kings obviously threw a game. We're going to apply nuance here and just be like, oh, well, we'll take your word for it. No, it's insane. It's truly hilarious that the NBA would do a backflip now to protect the Sacramento Kings to avoid levying a fine because I do think, like our buddy the Beagles tumors, we're doing everything we can to avoid acknowledging the tumors that are all over the NBA right now. Uh-huh. We'll just pretend there's nothing to fine here.
They're just going to make me put Buddy down. I don't want to
do that.
I don't want to do that.
So
I'm
we
just
don't need
gonna
to
ignore
admit that the Kings very, very, very openly tanked a game. In fact, the most tanked a game because we're just going to accept that, oh, yeah, Doug Christie, who spent his entire life in the NBA and has a team full of assistants whose entire job is to tell you we're in the penalty and we have this many timeouts left. Like, that is several assistants, basically entire job during the game.
Uh-huh. You know, I think I find the Christie thing a little more believable than you do. I mean, not that I think... I mean, the NBA this is all just for show, so I'm not defending the NBA. But I watched I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here, I guess. I watched an NBA coach have no idea what the score was at the end of the game.
Oh, we saw this with Mike Budenholzer a couple of years ago. They ended up getting him fired.
Yeah,
now,
in the playoffs.
his brother had died and there was all sorts of issues, but like he had this exact same problem. We see players, not shoot the ball in a game where they think they're leading and it's a tie game. We saw J.R. Smith get yelled at by LeBron James for not shooting the ball. I think it was against the Lakers, or maybe I can't remember who it was against. But, yeah, getting yelled at for not putting the ball up. Chris Paul yelled at DeAndre Jordan, whoever it was, for doing this. There are absolutely mistakes made. What I think should be frustrating, or where I find the frustration, is all of a sudden the NBA has an ability to apply nuance. All of a sudden the NBA has an ability to take a step back and say, like, oh, well, we think this leads to this. Again, the Jazz could find $500,000 for winning a basketball game.
Yeah, because the NBA had a PR problem on its hands, and they did I love this saying, ham-handed way of addressing it. And the fact that they could pick on two teams that they don't care about,
right,
Utah and Indiana, made it the easy thing to do. Again, this is how I think poorly the NBA is run most times, is that they do the easy thing to address a PR issue, not an actual issue. Again, I don't actually think they care about tanking.
Right.
I mean, I think Mark Cuban's actually right about that.
I don't think anybody really cares that much about tanking other than the fans.
But it gives them, they have a PR problem on their hands because of it. And so they have to pretend like they're doing something to fix it, even though it's not going to fix anything. Mm-hmm. So Adam Silver's phone rings, and he sits up from his crypt and takes the call, and it's the Thunder complaining about what the Jazz are doing. And then he hangs up, and he picks up the next call, and it's FanDuel complaining about what the Jazz are doing. And he's like, okay, well, I better do something to act like I'm doing something. I'm going to find a couple of the teams that I don't care about, and that'll shut you up.
Yep.
And then it doesn't fix anything, and they look even worse because they're in no world were they going to find every team this year who tanked a game. That was never going to be an option.
Right.
So why do it in the first place? That's the big question in my mind. But then you have an issue like this where they do something that's rather obvious. And then you have to be like, we're looking into this because Draymond Green talked about it after the game. Oh, we got to do something.
Now we do have to say something
do
about
something. Now we have to investigate. And oh, good, we get to throw an idiot coach under the bus. Problem solved.
Yeah, right.
Just wait till our next GM meeting. That's when we're really going to do it. You know, it's it's very silly.
Yep.
And I don't blame the Jazz fans for being outraged. If I'm Ryan Smith, I'm outraged.
Absolutely.
And I think for him to actually go to the snap talk and respond to it when it happened was really bold. You actually don't see that a lot from NBA owners.
100%.
He must have been upset, and I don't blame him for one dang second. I mean, honestly, why weren't the Jazz fined all of last year? Why weren't the Jazz fined
every team
the year before?
Yeah, right.
No, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are the Jazz doing tonight? What are the Kings going to do tonight? What are the Memphis Grizzlies going to do tonight? Yeah, you are seeing it all over the place. It's every night. It's like what Draymond said. Draymond was exactly right. Teams do it every single night, and the NBA loves to find players, and they won't find the teams. Even though they have said that they were going to find the teams. And Adam Silver came out in front of everybody and said, this is the line in the sand. We are going to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. Going to hammer the Jazz with a $500,000 fine. Going to fine the Pacers. And then truly not a peep. And then when it is obvious in plain sight, all of a sudden they find the one excuse that, oh, well, they just said he's a bad coach. He made a mistake. We watched the video. He said he was a bad coach. So what are we? Our hands are tied. What are we supposed to do about this? He's a bad coach. Will Hardy can say, I'm a good coach. I put my guys out there and we outscored the Miami Heat in the fourth quarter without our stars on the floor. I'm a good coach. And the NBA said, nah. The ESPN's talking so loudly about it, though. But Bobby Marks is mad about it.
Wait. Has Bobby weighed in on this one?
Brian Windhorst is mad. No, that's the other thing is they weighed in when there was nothing else to talk about in February because it was the NBA All-Star Game. NFL was over. Major League Baseball hadn't started. No golf tournaments going on.
But they protected Silver. I mean,
But yes, they stomped their feet really loudly.
It's not just they needed to have a hot take. It's that they defended egregious action from the NBA.
And they led to the action. And now they don't need to.
No, not defended, justified. That is a better word. Bobby Marks, by coming out and justifying it, saying, I have never seen anything like this. The NBA was totally within its, is a lie.
The integrity of the NBA was on the line.
Is a lie, or he's an idiot. I'm going with lie. Although you look at his track record as an NBA GM, and idiot might be in there too.
It's very fair.
It is fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was bold to come out. I've never seen it. It was totally justified by the NBA. Is it?
Right. Oh, he demanded it. This was before the Jazz got fined.
So where are you at now?
He demanded it. Right. Where are you right now?
He's probably saying, oh, well, yeah, Doug Christie's an idiot. Boy, suave move by the NBA.
Well, look, they can talk about a million other things right now on NBA Today. That's the difference. The only difference is there are different storylines. Yeah. That's the only difference.
So anyway, Jazz fans should be firing off all sorts of snap talks to old Silver today.
Along these lines, just got an updated injury report for the Utah Jazz. Elijah Harkless out. So tonight, Elijah Harkless out, Isaiah Collier out, Kyle Filipowski out, Keontae George out, Jaren Jackson Jr. out, Walker Kessler out, Lauri Markkanen out, Yusuf Nurkic out, Bryce Sensabaugh out.
You know what I feel bad about the thousands of kids that are going to the game specifically to see Phil, and they're not going to get to see him tonight? Thought it was going to be a let Phil cook kind of night, and not going to see it. I'm just bummed.
Last one of these. Again, no one's arguing the NBA has a tanking problem. Very clear the NBA has a tanking problem.
Is it a problem, though? That's what Mark Cuban would tell you.
The NBA doesn't actually think it's a problem.
They don't. Or they would have done they would do something more drastic. They would have done something more drastic.
And not just this
year.
A
long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago. That's right. All right, we're checking in at the Masters with old BT today. Brian Taylor will join us coming up next from Real Golf Radio every Saturday morning. We'll see what's going on in Augusta. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is DJ and PK.
Here we go again.
Joined now by Riley Jensen. I know somebody who went to a BYU practice, and they're not a BYU fan, and they came away blown away by Bear Bachmeier. They said he's way better than he was as a freshman, and they were comparing him to Alex Smith. If you've seen that, do you believe that?
I've heard that he's doing very well in spring. This is exactly what you want to happen. I'm very happy that he's doing what he's supposed to do. But one of the things that happens once you've been the starter for a year and then you come back is guys respond to you better because they know that you're the guy, and things are naturally going to go better in spring. But nobody on Texas Tech's football team really cares that Bear Bachmeier is better. I'm just very cautious about anything that people say about spring ball.
Catch DJ and PK mornings from 6 to 10 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're hoping to talk to BT coming up in a moment, getting you an update from the Masters. Until then, Ben, I fell for a clickbaity headline, but I'm super happy with the result. The Portuguese men of war are making a comeback. You know what I'm talking about?
Lloyd?
No.
Oh.
Although he could be compared to this creature.
The man of war, like the jellyfish?
The jellyfish.
Okay.
So the headline was, poisonous, stinging Portuguese men of war are rapidly invading beaches, extremely painful. As somebody who goes to the beach in the Atlantic, I was extremely concerned, but I'm grateful to hear that it's pretty much confined to the Gulf area. Okay. And that combines what we were talking about, corrections and retractions. Panama City is the capital of basically the redneck Riviera.
You see a lot of jellyfish stings on the beach where you go?
No, there's plenty of jellyfish. The jellyfish stings because I've been stung a bunch.
Oh, have you?
That's more in the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, where
do you
I
keep
go.
getting stung?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
There used to be a real lot of them because it was pollution attracts them, and the Chesapeake Bay was super polluted in like the 80s and early 90s. It's much better now than it used to be.
Good.
I got stung in the face once.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Glad you're alive.
Talk about that story. Oh, they're small. That's why I'm saying the Portuguese men of war. That's like giant.
The big ones.
They actually can really do damage. I just had a awful like welt rash thing on my face.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of face rashes, there just wasn't a good
transition.
No, it wasn't a.
Speaking of men of war,
transition. There. Do we need to play the Open? Should we play the Open to? All right, let's do that. BT joining us now from Augusta. What's going on, BT?
I did have some pre-cancerous stuff burned off my face recently. Is that what you're alluding to?
No, it was not, but I guess that kind of fits, I suppose.
All right. Well, successful first day, and obviously Rory makes the big push. Does that feel like the main storyline when you're there, boots on the ground?
Yeah, I thought that was a big storyline. Last year after he won the elusive green jacket and joined the Grand Slam club, I think we all talked about, hey, the lid's off. Rory could rip off 3 or 4 or 5, at this point in time, even though it had been, over 10 years between, major wins for Rory McIlroy. And so we had high expectations the very next month at Quail Hollow, and, he just did not play well, had the driver issue, and just what we didn't count on was that toll that win and the stress and the emotion of all those years really kind of took out on him. And it was pretty much, the rest of the season just wasn't his. But now you start to wonder, well, okay, he returns now as the, decorated, celebrated, defending champ and hosts the dinner and is wearing the green jacket on the grounds and gets to drive down Magnolia Lane as a champion and park in the champions, parking lot and has got a locker in the champions locker room. And there's a lot of flex and confidence that comes along with that and some freedom. So I asked him after his first round, was there a sense of freedom when he, when you played versus some of the other years? And he conceded that maybe that was there, that when he didn't have it going well in the first 7 holes, that he didn't press, didn't have to kind of push on it because he's, again, if it doesn't work out, he's already got his, right? And so this is what's going to be interesting. I'm really anxious to see how he plays. Tees off in about 10 minutes for his second round. Very difficult conditions out there, very firm. It's perfect weather, but really tough and challenging conditions on the golf course because of the lack of humidity. And so I'm anxious to see what he can do. If he can put another low one, yeah, he's definitely in the driver's seat. Even something around even par would be a good score today. And that's a developing story. Could become just the 4th player to win back-to-back Masters, joining Jack, Faldo, and Tiger. So, a good one developing here.
BT, take us through Scotty Scheffler's journey so far. I guess he's out on 10, right? Even today, something like that. You can probably give us more of an update. But the way he started, it looked like, man, look out, he's going to run away with it.
Yeah, and he's just been a little bit off, from this, I've been watching him from the monitor. That's a tough group to get close to out there on the golf course. So given that we have to, put the show together today, kind of watching it from the convenience of the press building here, but it just seems like he's just a little off, miss some putts, miss some shots, miss some drives, just not sharp. And that's a little bit surprising. But look, through 10 holes, that's a great birdie on 10. He sits there at 2 under par, and, that's a good spot. So I expect that we'll continue to see him, rebound. And if he can use that, look, made a couple of bogeys and got back to even. Now he's gotten them back. So, he's still Scotty Scheffler with the stretch of the golf course coming up that he can make some numbers. And so assuming he kind of rights the ship here and maybe gets it into 3 or 4, it's going to be a great spot, and he's set up perfectly for the weekend. The only thing you have to kind of worry about really on a Friday is not getting left behind. There's, 7 shots. I think maybe 8 shots is the most that anyone's ever come back after 36 holes, and that was Jackie Burke back in the 50s. So it's pretty much, this group. And then talking about Scheffler, like he's one of, last I counted, there were 10 out of the top 13 or 14 that were in the top of the leaderboard that were major champion winners. And so super great leaderboard, stacked with great experience. And this is going to be a kind of the top of the class, and see who can come through this.
Right now, sitting tied with Rory at the top is Sam Burns at 5 under. He's got a handful of tour wins, but hasn't particularly performed great at these majors. What have you seen from him, and what does his weekend look like?
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Gets off to 4 straight pars. I think that's good. He's in a unique position. This is his 5th Masters. In the previous 4, he's missed the cut in half of them, kind of an every other year kind of thing for him. And last year tied for 46, so not exactly in the mix. But we've always known Burnsy to be a really good putter. And obviously, these are as fast and as pure greens as you'll putt. Some of the most difficult as well. So it lends itself to good putters for sure. But there's so many other things that come with it. Handling the pressure, putting your ball in position to be able to get it on the right spot of the green, to be able to have a putt to make. And so, given that he's on his game right now, it's a little bit of a surprise being there at the top of the leaderboard, but good for him. If he keeps it going, he's going to be challenging for his first major and his first Masters, along with, guys like McIlroy, who's looking for his, to be, as I said, the 4th to become back-to-back. Scheffler, who's looking to become the quickest to 3 jackets in his 7th start. Tiger Jack and Palmer all did it in their 8th. So there's like a lot of stuff that's going on here, and good for Burns. Justin Rose is the other one that's put himself right back there after he's had 3 runners up and 2 that he's missed in a playoff, and so putting himself right back in there, having one of the best rounds of the day is impressive. So there's just so many great names and stories that are wrapped up there on top of the leaderboard. And then you got Chris Goddard up in there as well. He's a first timer. He's the only multiple time tour winner this year on the PGA Tour, and he's just currently 3 shots back. So again, lots of good stuff.
He is Byron Taylor. I want to call him Byron.
Thank you.
Remember Brian Russell? Everybody wanted to call him Byron.
Yeah.
BT seems like a Byron to me.
Okay.
I don't know why. Real Golf Radio brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and you went to golf. Give us a name that may not be on top of the leaderboard, BT, but you expect to do some damage over the weekend.
Well, I guess I would go with Schauffele. He's not really too far down, but I'm anxious to see what Schauffele does. Just got off to his second round start, parred 1. He's at 2 under par. He's a lot of the prognosticators' favorites. So look for Schauffele and see what he's not has a lot of conversation about him yet, but a good round today will put him right there in the mix.
You don't think Bubba Watson's going to charge from plus 6 then, huh?
Yeah. No, I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
We were looking at people, because I'm me. I was looking at golfers that played badly. What happened to John Rahm? In all seriousness, we were speculating about this early in the show. Is it that Liv just did him in? What happened to that guy? He's plus 5 for the tourney. I guess he's 1 under for the day, so good for him. But what happened to that dude?
It's a good question. Really is. It's something that I think we'll keep an eye on. There's a lot of discussion about that they just don't get the highest level of competition. They don't get this level of difficulty in their golf courses. They're playing for, 25, 30 under par, and then they do that on the PGA Tour as well. But, they're really playing against about 10 other guys that are, of top caliber, and the rest of them just aren't the same level. And so, there's certainly some speculation that, maybe their saw is a little dull, not quite as sharp as they otherwise would be if they were competing against the best players in the world week in, week out. I don't know yet, but it is interesting. I mean, Cam Smith is another good example. He won the 150th Open Championship at the home of golf at St. Andrews, and then promptly signs with LIV, and we don't hear anything from him. Dustin Johnson was a little bit more at the end of his career, so I don't know that that's good data, but Brooks Koepka, popped out and won the PGA Championship, after signing with LIV, but then kind of went dark a little bit. And here he is back on the PGA Tour, and, his name's kind of popping right back up in there again. So, Pat Reed, again, didn't have some great finishes when he was at LIV, and he's left LIV playing European Tour. He's won twice there since leaving LIV, and now here he is putting himself in contention again here at the Masters. So there is some data, there's some at least observances to suggest that maybe that isn't the best thing for your game playing on LIV. But again, it'll all play itself out. But yeah, I think of all the players, maybe Rahm was a little bit the most, I don't know if hurt or disappointed by the whole thing. My opinion only is that whether it was his agent or somebody sold him the idea, hey, the PGA Tour and LIV are about to come together. This is your last chance to grab a bag, and we're all going to be one happy family in a few months anyway, and you could miss out on all these hundreds of millions. And so he took it, and here we are a few years later, and it's not the case. So I do think right in the prime of his career, that was a bit of a head-scratcher, given all the things he had said about not leaving and then going ahead and leaving and sort of becoming irrelevant in the majors. So, hey, we'll see. I wish John the best. He's a fun guy to watch, and obviously a great champion. So here's hoping he'll get it figured out. But it is something to maybe consider when you see his bad play and not being as sharp as he would expect or we would expect him to be.
Before we let you go, BT, what can we expect tomorrow on the show?
Yeah, we're putting together a good one. Observations from the week. What's it like a week at the Masters, from the Champions Dinner and some of the players' comments that were there to first-timers and their experience. We've been visiting and following with both of the first two winners of the Black Desert on the PGA Tour event. You're talking about Matt McCarty and Michael Brennan, and they're out here playing. McCarty, of course, played last year. Brennan make his first appearance. So talking about their impressions, being out here and competing on the biggest stage and how that win launched their career. So we'll talk about that. And then, hit the leaderboards. We've got a couple of golf writers that are going to be joining us to break it all down. And, it's going to be fun. I love this show. This is when 2 hours doesn't feel like it's enough, but we'll give you everything we can during that time slot.
Catch Byron and Bob tomorrow. I don't know, BT. What do you think? I think it works.
Sir Byron.
Sir Byron.
Lord Byron.
Lord Byron, even better. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Brian,
I went to the Irish tourism dinner last night, and I introduced myself as O'Brien, if that helps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Brian, we appreciate you and all your great coverage this week. Thanks, man.
Thanks, BT.
Always a pleasure to speak with you boys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Masters, and we'll talk soon.
Back at you, buddy. Thank you very much. Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio, tomorrow from 8 to 10. Catch it. And, they're good every week, but their Masters coverage, their coverage of the majors overall is
they're in person.
Second to none.
Cool to have such a local connection.
Again, I want him to dip his arm into the water to see if it comes out blue.
Fishing your watch out of a porta potty.
Yeah, right. Gross.
Why'd you take your watch off?
Stay tuned. We wrap up Jacob Ed and wrap up the week next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is JJ and Alex. I got this.
Travis Yost, our guest, he covers the NHL for TSN.
For the Mammoths, I think they're the fourth best team in the West. I think that they would be a likely favorite against Anaheim. They could be or should be a favorite in a series against Vegas. If the Mammoths close the season as we expect, by goal differential, this is the best team that has ever been on the ice for either the Utah or Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes franchise by goal differential this season right here, right now. This team absolutely should not be thinking we made it to the playoffs. What an accomplishment. At this point, considering how good the Mammoths have been, and I mean that, they really should be thinking, how do we go in and win a round in the playoffs? And I think if you've got Anaheim on the ice, even if you're the road team in that series, that's a matchup the Mammoths should want, and it's one they should win.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Yeah, I've been working.
Getting the boys together.
I've been working on some stuff.
Getting the band back together.
Buddy, it's commitment.
I can't wait.
It's commitment. It really is.
I can't believe I got a sneak peek.
Yeah, right. You saw some of the bootleg tracks that we haven't.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Garage sessions.
We've been working it.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that.
I can't wait. Next week. Big new release from the album, from the band.
Maybe. We'll see.
Single?
I don't know. We got
a whole album.
Oh, probably the single.
LP, just a single.
I
Okay.
mean, we can rip stuff off pretty quick, but the whole album. No, I don't think so.
Season's going on.
Yeah, right. We're busy. Got 2 more games. Again, glad Bryce Sensabaugh is getting some rest. I mean, he needs to really keep it in the tank for that last one against the Lakers.
Bryce back next year?
He's under contract, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So I would say yes. What do you think?
Get the feeling of any of the young players if they weren't coming back next year. My guess is Bryce, but maybe the obvious answer is just Cody. Because truthfully, Cody still is the least accomplished of them. But I think it's very clear that Bryce is at his best with a very big role. And there's not a very big role on this team.
With the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a team option next year.
Yeah.
For 4.8.
And I think they've already picked it up. I think they've picked up all the players' options.
Yeah, they're going to pick it up for sure.
It's a really bad sign if you don't get your rookie deals extended. And in all honesty, I think there's a real argument to just keep these guys, all of them. Isaiah, Cody, Flip's option actually does have to be picked up.
No, all these guys. Well,
Bryce,
you can't
certainly.
technically pick up the option yet.
I think you can extend rookie deals because no one else can grab them.
Yeah, but he hasn't been extended.
No, but like the rookie options I think you do that really early in the year. Like I actually think this might be done already. I may be wrong. Neither here. It doesn't matter. He's not going to hit free agency, certainly. I'll be really curious. I'll be curious who could get moved because, there will be options, I suspect, for some of these guys to get moved for like the 35th pick. And the Jazz decide that they'd rather have another crack at a second rounder, an early second rounder versus bringing somebody back at $4 million.
Well, what you really want to do if you did a move like that is just reset the salary structure.
Yeah,
Because
exactly right.
Bryce, now you have to figure out how much you're going to pay him and how much you want to give him
or
going
Cody.
forward.
Cody's making $6 million or something next year. Would
Always-
you rather pay?
Yeah, always remember rookies are affordable.
Yeah. And there's room. There's room to grow.
So I don't know. But yeah, I would guess he's back. I would guess all those guys are back. Why not?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think you have to make any major decisions quite yet. You've already made a bunch.
Yeah.
Walker Kessler's the biggest decision you have to make this offseason. Conceivably, if you could give Keontae an extension at a low cost, I think you would do that. That might be a little bit different than Walker because I'm not sure the Jazz are having to make major decisions next summer as often or this summer as often because they've kind of got a plan in place for what the team's going to look like. But
Well, they don't really have a decision to make with Walker. They're going to retain him.
I think so, yeah.
The nuance is, do they work out a deal with Walker?
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of deal does that look like?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what the tenure offer
Yeah.
is always so low that nobody ever takes it. Can you think of anyone who took it and to just become a free agent the next year? I can't think of a single
Well,
example.
honestly, so here's the bad example of it is it did just happen with Cam Thomas with the Nets. He thought, I'm worth 20.
And it totally screwed
They
him.
offered him $14 million.
Yeah.
He's literally out of the NBA. He does not have a team. They traded him to Milwaukee. Actually, I think they cut him because they couldn't trade him at the deadline. Milwaukee signed him. He played for 2 weeks, and they cut him. I would assume who may have also done the same. No, because Iowa was a second-round pick. So Miles, or who's the Bridges, right? Not Bridges. Oh, he plays for the 76ers right now. He's kind of their good guard who's bounced around the league. He was with the Knicks. Then he went to Dallas.
But he did it.
He didn't pick up his he didn't sign a contract. He took a Quentin Grimes. He signed the qualifying offer is what they call it, just so he could hit unrestricted free agency. Walker's not going to do that.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, just look at what happened to Cam Thomas. Look at that
Yeah,
example.
yeah, right.
No, I mean, it never happens for a reason. So
And-
I don't think they have to decide whether Walker's back or not. They're going to retain him.
Right.
Maybe they sign and trade him or something, but they're going to retain him no matter what.
Yeah, and then you don't have to sign him and trade him immediately. You can sign him and shop him all year if you want.
Yeah.
Say he doesn't fit, but we think he'd fit on your team. So give us a $30 million player back. That's the no-brainer of it all. If you lose the asset of Walker Kessler, you don't get anything. You might as well sign him and then try and trade him later if you don't want him.
Right.
But somebody, if they're willing to pay him $20 million this offseason, will pay him $20 next offseason, or $25 or $30. So you might as well just give him his money and then try and trade him. So, yeah, those aren't terribly difficult decisions. I'm with you. I guess the question is, how many of these young guys are we going to see again? I don't know.
I think all of them.
No, I think there's a very realistic chance.
I mean, maybe not some, maybe Harkless is a two-way guy again. I don't know. Hinson is interesting. Maybe he's kind of a two-way, but I don't know if we necessarily see all those guys. I know Bez Mbang has a summer league spot, but I would be surprised if we saw him.
Kennedy Chandler, this is actually his last game. His 10-day expires tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the question is, does he get picked up for the rest of the season?
For the one
Make
game.
an extra $18,000 for the Lakers game.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see any of those guys, but I don't see him moving on from Phil or Bryce or Collier. Who am I missing?
Cody.
And Cody? No, I don't think so. Unless they get a great trade offer for one of them. Or they want to do what you talked about, and that's reset the clock.
Yeah, which is possible.
Which is possible, but I don't know if that's likely.
And do you want to, again, you're adding another top 5 pick this year probably. Another top 8 pick at the very least.
Yeah.
That's your young guy next year. Do you want another rookie second-round pick who has to step in and play?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Scotty G and Friends. I had to pause to make sure I got
You did it right.
Scotty G
Proud of
and
you.
Friends coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Hatch.
On the Jake and Ben Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.